What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again with the next event update for you all today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. They just busted out 3.4.4, the balanced pass node, so it's time to get it done. If you guys are not familiar with this, every single time they bring it on board, we like to go ahead and choose some of the ones to watch. We look at the list of units that have been recently made a change, and out of all those units, which ones are the ones that are probably going to make the most impact with regards to the game in the meta right now, okay? As far as this list goes, I got 5 key units, and I might do a couple of honorable mentions at the very end, okay? First one on my list, it has to be the Rakshasa family. This one here is going to be providing that speed, skill, and attack for not just the first skill, but now the first and the second skill. So I think this is going to be pretty darn unique for this unit. It's going to be obviously adding a lot of DPS. If you were playing around with those attack or damage runes, but high speed substats, now you might make an argument for going with that speed crit gem attack, so you can take advantage of both skills here. Ultimately, though, I know that a lot of people have argued in the past about the value of speed scaling skills and the amount of speed needed to get it done. But now, for the fact that this unit has 2 skills that are going to be going that route when it comes to speed-based attacks, I think you can make an argument that it's going to be worth your time to do it. If you are sitting there with Dragons V10 looking for that +1 unit to go for, this is going to be another option for you. As you know, when I think about DV10, I think about that Fantastic Four, the Verde, the Galleon, the Stella, and the Tark. Now that this one has 2 speed-based skills versus the first one, you're going to get a lot of added damage in there. And with in addition to that, you're going to have that attack bar manipulation. The Dark one did get that attack bar increased by 10%, moving from 20 to 30. So that is pretty nice as well. But overall, I'm pretty happy with that Rakshasa family. It is a great unit. It has a universal leader skill that you guys can take advantage of. Next one up, we got ourselves the Dark Barbaric King on my list. I tell you what, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm I'm excited for you, but I'm kind of butthurt on the side because I don't got one. Because again, for the whatever 10-50% of people out there, they're definitely gonna. I'm extremely happy for you guys. You're gonna have a really nice skill here. Frenzy going up from 25% to 40%. Well, I want to remain positive on this one here. I'm trying my best. I'll tell you what, I'm very happy for that change. I think it's gonna be pretty unique. But I wonder how big of an increase is that going to make, right? We say 15% increase, but we already understand the concept of violent procs, right? Violent procs 22%, but really feels like 82%. Like, I'm curious to see how it works and how it does, and then. But yeah, overall, I mean, I can't get mad with that one here. A really cool unit, and I'm super excited to see what people do. I know. I want to give a shout out to Burkalak 420. He uses that one all the time now in Guild War offense and defense, so I'm looking forward to seeing some of his content here. Next one up, Mr. Chandra, Mr. Rahul. Wow. We only waited about 2 years to get that buff. Now look at that right there. Hug. I know a lot of people were talking about potentially saying, hey, maybe let's make it some kind of an AoE effect. But this one here, even though it didn't go that route, I do like the change. So the hug or the defense skill gives you that additional turn after utilizing it. So obviously, you guys already know the power of a built-in violent proc into a particular unit, whether we're talking about CR or we're talking about Branded Magicians. Having that availability of an inbuilt violent proc gives you even more of a reason to use a violent set, because you have a way of resetting that violent counter. As you guys know, that first additional turn proc on the rune set is going to be 20%, then it's going to dramatically decrease over time. And so, the fact that you have that mechanic now is going to be pretty darn unique. And if you guys didn't see in the bottom there as well, it does have a little bit of an AI change. So I'm curious to see, how it goes about. I'm looking forward to messing around with it. I still have mine rune reasonably decent. You guys have seen me use it in Guild Wars here, so I'm definitely excited for that route here. Let's see. So next one up is the Hell Lady family. Wow! I'll tell you what, Comtos, I gotta give it to you, man. I did not think, I wasn't expecting this. I was looking at Vanessa. I was looking at Daphnis. Rip Daphnis 2017. Get good. Overall, I've been. With regards to the Hell Lady, though, pretty darn good change there. That Shatter skill for the Wind, Fire, and Dark one is going to be getting that Shatter bonus there. Second skill, it's going to increase the attack bar by 10% if you go ahead and get that critical hit. So that is pretty darn unique. I ain't gonna lie, I'm thinking what everybody else is thinking. If they made such a dramatic change to this one, and you have multiple units that you can hit, almost depending on where you're at in the game. Where, you know, whether you're sitting here in TOA hitting 5 monsters, or if you're in Arena hitting 2 monsters, or Guild Wars and 3 monsters. Obviously, it's not going to make as an impact for Guild Wars versus like something like, you know, Arena or TOA. However, I mean, it's still going to make an impact. Don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying, the amount of attack bar increase that you can get because of the fact that you're hitting more units is going to be pretty interesting. But here's the thing that everybody's thinking about: they made such a dramatic change to that. Why didn't they change that cooldown time? I thought the change is extremely good, but I was surprised that they kept the cooldown time to where it is. You know, I feel bad for kind of mentioning. I'm sure that's one of those things where it's like, dude, what are you doing? Let's keep it going for all those Win Hell Lady users or whatever, any Hell Lady user out there. But it is something to think about. I mean, I don't know. I personally feel that once it kind of gets underway, they'll really be able to see, you know, how strong it's going to be. But again, maybe according to the meta, it's not going to make too dramatic of a change, but I think that people are going to play around with it. I think that this unit has the base stats to really mess around with and manipulate, you know, build it in a variety of ways that you can take advantage of it, especially for the Win Hell Lady. I've talked about that before. I love her base HP, her base speed. Even her defense is pretty darn good for a natural 5-star attacker, right? So overall, I'm pretty hyped up about any of the Wind, Fire, Dark Hell Ladies that are going to have that AoE defense break. So get excited for that, guys. Next one up, probably one of the ones that are really going to make an impact in the game, especially not just for PvE, but for PvP. We have Succubus here. We got that additional effect that's going to allow us to not wake up the enemies when we sleep. So this one here, I'm pretty excited about. I think this is we're gonna find a lot of value out of this in micromanaging your units when it comes to Guild Wars and RTA. I could see where this can play a role in any unit that has any kind of already, you know, built-in, you know, like AoE or some kind of an AoE sleep format. We got Sonnet, the Water Heart Magician, we got Hathor there, so I'm definitely seeing what people can do. On the flip side, you do have that TOA action like I'm doing right now. There's going to be a little bit more value out of people that are taking their time trying to clear stages that they definitely struggle on, and they need to bring that CC and support. You know, here's the thing though, generally with regards to, you know, CC based comps, you're bringing not just, you know, a unit like the Light Succubus or whatnot, but you're also bringing units that have AoE, you know, damage dealing skills. So is it going to make a dramatic impact if you're already trying to incorporate monsters that you're trying to take advantage of, like Phoenix Fury right here with an AoE dot effect and whatnot? I'm curious to see how that works out, because again, you have to, even though the Succubus may not wake them up, you know, other units that you bring to the mix may do so though. So you might find yourself playing around with a composition that allows you to bring more single target monsters to kind of focus on, so you can keep more monsters slept. But who knows? I'm looking forward to seeing what people kind of play with it. Again, regardless of the change, the change is for the better, and that's why we wanted to go ahead and mention to it. It looks like the fire one, the dark one there will be some of the ones to kind of consider, as they had a nice little revamp on that third skill as well. Those are the big ones for my ones to watch. Again, guys, we have a lot of units that had made a change for the better, so I'll make a note here on some of the units that did have a positive change, but I don't think it's going to be like game changing or whatever like that. Dark Fairy King and Dark OG, pretty unique skills on the change there. You got that the buff prevention there by 20% for the Dark Fairy King, and then the self-buffing skill for the Dark OG. While they're really nice, it only is going to help the 2% of people out there in the whole entire Summoners War community that have it. So congratulations, you guys got a new change. But when I think about, you know, the ones to watch, the ones that we are going to constantly see on the offensive side and the defensive side, or the PvE side, the ones that are going to, you know, really make an impact on the game, because a lot of people have more access to it there. As far as the Death Knight goes, Arnold, don't call it a comeback, right? We got that cooldown increase from the 5th skill to the from the 5 turns to 4 turns. I believe it actually used to be that, and then they made the change a while back ago, like a year or 2 ago. And, you know, ultimately, again, I think it is nice, but, you know, as you climb up into late to end game stages, the effective HP of monsters is pretty darn strong. The fact that this is just going to be straight damage based on HP is going to be, you know, obviously it's not going to really be concerned with units that are bringing that defensive defensive stat. However, generally speaking, you know, even with attack-based monsters, people understand the value of effective HP, not just on the defensive side of that mitigation there, but also the HP and whatnot. So generally, a lot of attackers in the late to end game stages are going to be brewed with more HP than you would generally have on a particular monster. That being said, you could utilize it as a 1-2 punch, bring in a combination that allows you to do a decent amount of damage with another skill, and then have Arnold finish off and whatnot here. So again, it'll be pretty unique. I'm looking forward to see it, but again, I don't think it's going to be like a dramatic change on that one here. Last but not least, we got the Amazon family getting that max HP skill bonus for that first skill there. So now if you have, if you're rocking that light Amazon, you got 3 skills that will be providing that damage based on max HP. So this could be a +1 that you can go ahead and utilize for your speed DB10 runs, since the Dragon's skill, or Dragon's has a pretty high HP pool, so you get a lot of value out of units that bring that max HP. The reason why I didn't put this one as game changing is because I really do feel that there's already quite a handful of free-to-play monsters that you can get if you don't have this light unit, the light Amazon. I feel like Yaku, the water pimp champion, right? Pimping ain't easy. I feel like he actually brings, you know, a lot of DPS there, and then of course with that self-upping skill, it has the enemy's max HP on the second, and then the opportunity to ignore defense there. I think that is pretty darn strong, because ultimately, you know, we're not going to always be too fortunate enough to get that defense break from Gallant or Shell or whoever we're bringing. So having the opportunity to get that ignore defense is going to be pretty nice as well. But you know, that being said, we got a lot of people out there in the influencer community that do have this one, so I'm looking forward to having them prove me wrong as to, you know, really ruin this monster up and see what kind of numbers they can pull when it comes to those speed DP10 runs. I do have one myself, but I think it's still at like 5-star max, so we'll have to take a look down the road. As you know, overall, just looking at the picture of units here, obviously I'm going to be using Chandra a little bit more. We might play around with it in the Guild War defensive side. Because of the fact that Comtois loves to give me dupe Ethnas or whatnot, chances are, you guys already know that I have the Ethna built. Because of the dramatic change on that second skill, I will be going ahead and Devil Money the unit. I'm sitting at like 30 Devil Months right now, so I don't have any problem skilling it up and seeing if I can make use of it. As I stated before early on, I really like its base stats, and I think that I can play around with a variety of different builds. One that kind of comes to mind, it's like a hybrid build, HP crit damage attack in like a despair based format here, so that I can play around with the you know, like Guild War defense to try to catch people off guard here. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a pretty unique patch, I guess. At the end of the day, even though I was, you know, looking for Vanessa like we all are, I was looking for a little bit of better buff on Daphnis. I'll take what I can get, right? It seems like it's been, for me, it seems like it's been too long since I made the change, so I'll take what I can get right now, and we'll kind of go that route. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys, for my ones to watch. As always, I like to finish off the video with you guys putting in the comment section which ones are your ones to watch, which ones are the ones that you feel are going to make a very dramatic impact on the meta today. All right, that is it. I am done. It's your boy Childish of ChildishPlays. Check it out. Take care, and we will see you next time, guys. We're out.